Hello everyone, it's Distinguished Dag here, bringing you an old school RuneScape guide on Lizardman Shaman. The prerequisites on what you need to do first to fight them, gear setup, inventory setup, where to find them, how to fight them, all that good stuff. So let's dive into that, and I hope you enjoy it. So right off the bat, you need to have 100% Shazian favor to be able to kill Lizardman Shaman. So you need to get that done with the house. Another good reason for that is you need to get the tier 5 Shazian armor set, and we'll dive more into that in a little bit on why. It basically helps protect you when you have all 5 pieces. Each one does 1/5 damage reduction on an attack the shamans do. Now, the stats requirement, most say you should have about 80 attack, 80 strength, at least 20 defense, 80 range, 40 prayer. Honestly, since you're safe spotting them with range, which would be the simplest and easiest way, you can have much lower stats than that with ranged. Really, the 40 prayer is a requirement for the overhead prayer because you'll be praying ranged the whole time. Range you want to have high up. I mean, I would recommend 80, but you could get away with 75 as long as you have a blowpipe. Strength and attack won't really come into play since you'll be using range anyway. So really it's just range for a blowpipe and defense. Now loot, of course the big drop everyone's going for is that Dragon Warhammer. It is a 1 in 5,000 drop, but that beautiful thing, 54.7 million. If you're lucky enough to get a drop is great. They have a lot of really good high alks, as you can see, the rune gear, battle staffs, things like that. You definitely want to bring runes to high alk. They do drop runes themselves, sometimes noted ore, seeds, herbs, and then the usual stuff as far as possible clue scrolls, curved bones, long bones, but it's that Dragon Warhammer that you want. So for the gear setup, as I was saying, you want to have that tier 5 Shazian armor, the helmet, chest, legs, boots, and gloves. That will help reduce one of their poison attacks, make it 1,000 times easier than if you just went straight up in normal gear. You want to have your Avas for your back. Anguish, if you don't have an Anguish, then a Glory will do, but Anguish is definitely the best. A Blessing just to help out with your prayer. As I was saying, that blowpipe, it's not an absolute necessity, but I would highly recommend not doing it until you have a blowpipe. Really speeds up the kills. Then of course an archer's ring, you want to get that imbued through Nightmare Zone if possible, but at least the base archer's ring. Now, as far as inventory goes, you do want an anti-potion plus plus, antidote plus plus, since they do poison down there. 3 range pots is what I went with. Then as you can see, 16 prayer pots. You don't need much food if you pay attention and focus. You just need the prayer pots. 3 sharks just in case. Emergency teleport out, and then I went with a holy wrench, high alk runes, and a bone crusher just to help level some prayer while I'm down there. That's basically the inventory setup you want to aim for. It's the prayer pots that do most of the work for you down there. Range pots to help speed up the kills, and then 2 or 3 sharks just in case you fail to pay attention and move out of the way and take some damage. But that shouldn't happen too often. Now to get there, you can either go from Farmer's Guild, which you can use a skills necklace, option 6, or you can use CIR Fairy Ring, as you can see right there, and come down south. And then a little east to get to the entrance. We'll be killing them in the temple. I personally use a skills necklace, option 6, to just run from the farming guild. It's just a short run southeast from the entrance to the farming guild. This is what the entrance looks like once you get there. You just want to click on it to hop down the hole. Once inside, there are many rooms. The one I recommend that is easiest is you just run left, a little west, and then straight north. As you can see, this room right here is the one I always use. It's simple. Again, there are other rooms, but this one is the easiest and the one I recommend that you start learning in. Now these marks on the ground that you can see, those are safe points. If you use Ruin Light, you want to mark those. If you don't, just remember them. But you'll want to use those as safe points because the Lizardman Shaman have a jumping attack, and when you're standing in those locations, they don't jump and land on you, dealing a decent amount of damage. It just takes one of their abilities away. So with the Shazian armor and these safe spots, you've effectively taken 2 of their 4 attacks away. Now their attacks is they have melee, but you won't be in melee range. So their range attack is the one that's going to do most of it. Your Shazian armor is going to take away their special attack, the acid spit. Standing in the right place will take their jump attack away. So really stay out of melee range, and the only 2 attacks they'll do is their range attack, which you pray against, and then spawning. They'll spawn 3 small purple Lizardman Shaman that will run, stay next to you, and then self-destruct and blow up. And I'll show you what that looks like here shortly. So really you just need to stand in the right locations, and as long as you have the Shazian armor and prey range, the only thing you really need to look out for is not being in melee range and those spawns that pop up. Let's find an empty room here. I'm going to pre-pot with the Antidote ++ range pot and then prey range. Hop in here and go straight to a safe spot. As you can see, he starts with a spawn. That's what that looks like. You want to give it 1 to 2 seconds for them to kind of stay where they are and then run to another safe spot. They'll blow up where they are, and then you just continue from there. As you can see, I forgot to have my auto retaliate on, so I had to switch that on. Make sure you have that. And it's as easy as that. Just stay in a safe spot. When they spawn the 3, wait for them to pick their location that they're going to blow up in, and then run to another safe spot and continue to shoot them. That's what the jump looks like if you don't stay in a safe spot. Just wanted to demonstrate that. So now I'm just going to show you a couple kills, how it looks, so you can get an idea, and then what the loot you can expect from a task. This task was 191 that I got, I believe, and we'll see how that looks at the end here. So enjoy. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section, and I'll be happy to get back to you as quickly as possible. But it makes doing Lizardman tasks 100 times easier, especially the shamans. I mean, you can go to the canyon and you can cannon the normal shamans, or I'm sorry, the normal Lizardmen, to get this task over with quickly. Personally, I always do Shaman once you have the capability of doing it for a chance at that Dragon Warhammer. I mean, if you're doing the task anyway and they have good high alkables, a chance at 54.7 million is definitely worth trying. It is a long shot, but if you can get it, that you're set up with a nice raid piece or spec weapon, or sell it and get yourself some bandos, tassets, and chestplate, or whatever you may need. So after the first trip, I went back to my house. I know it's not much of a house. I just got my altar up and then my mounted glory. But after the first trip, I wanted to show you what you can expect with one inventory. I could have stayed a little longer. I just ran out of my Antidote ++s. But as you can see, not too bad for a little bit of time. I mean, you just gotta pay attention. Don't get caught off guard by those spawns. And after 65 kills in one inventory, that's not bad. Grabbed some more, hopped back in there, and just gonna quickly show you what I got at the end of the second and third inventory. The third was the last one I needed to finish the task. So as you can see here, after 153 kills, not looking too bad, just shy of just right under 1 million. And this whole task only took me about 35-40 minutes, not long at all. And then the final look, as you can see, is just shy of 1 million. I didn't have too many between the second and third inventory. I could have almost finished it, but I didn't on the second inventory. But that's been the guide. Thank you for stopping by. Please sub and like if you liked what you saw and enjoyed it. Have a good one, and see you again.